Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Peasant chat. We talk to poor people every Sunday. Talk to the poors. Just to, keep them up. I say that, but y'all can still do a super chat. But we still know that the poors get the most attention on Sundays. Today, got a lot to talk about. I just put the title up there because I wanted something to be catchy, but I can read that article where Ford wants to put a stick shift in an electric vehicle for some reason. Ford recently filed a patent to put a simulated stick shift transmission thing in an EV to drum up. It's gimmicky. Ford, in my opinion, has just absolutely lost their way, and now they're going to put a stick shift simulator in an EV because it's so fucking boring. They're going to try to make it simulate a stick shift car. But let's say Gen Z or even millennials, you give them a stick shift car, they generally don't know how to drive it. Stick shift to me is something that requires, skill. And if you're going to put a simulator, will it stall? Will a EV simulated stick shift car stall when you let off the clutch too quickly? Or will it just go forward and do EV things? We could talk about that. We can also talk about Lund Racing going over to the Reunion to test out a new part. That's right, a brand new torque converter made by ProTorque was installed on the Grey Goose. Now we can talk about why that was even offered, and there's many reasons. I think the fact that Lund Racing was able to garner the attention of ProTorque to build a one-off 6R80 torque converter, because let's be honest, the only ones that matter in the torque convert in the 6R80 game is Lund Racing. So ProTorque went in there and actually did some parts. We can talk about that. We can talk about, the all-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive controversy, which I don't really give two shits about. We can do all that shit, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. It's Sunday. You know what doesn't suck? Pmas! Nick James and Pmas, the best cold air intakes on the planet. Yesterday, took out the GT500, and that thing just fueled wonderfully, just like I knew it would, because it has a Pmas cold air intake on it that I have not had to adjust at all. MAV curve in, fuels properly, exactly like a properly built cold air should do. DNAP Performance, DNAPperformance.com. You're going to get your Amory cups, you're going to get a fucking fuel system and wait 14 weeks for it. You're going to get your wheels, tires, anything and everything, injectors, you name it, any part you want to get, DNAPperformance.com, YDBT at checkout. See if you get a discount. I don't know why you guys don't buy everything there and get a discount. It is the way to support the Amory. I don't get a kickback. I'm simply supporting the people. Parts Farm, PartsFarm.com. Parts Farm, you're going to get your used parts there. Cranker pallets, you're going to get your panels. I'm going to need a couple of things from them because the GT500, I want it to be as nice as possible because that car's probably going to end up in car shows just so you can see the amount of work I put into the engine, man. 2 Auto Solution. Rami's on Auto Solution. If you're going to get a car worked on in the island of Puerto Rico, the welfare island of Puerto Rico, you're going to go to Rami's Auto Solution to get your Camaro, your Mustang, your Corvette worked on, not your Vaz, your Lada, or anything else. And Belak Industries. If you sell drugs and you want everyone to know that you sell drugs, you're going to get yourself a set of Belak wheels so that, everyone in the neighborhood goes, oh, coño, he sells the yayo. We'll say hi to the people here. And we'll get after it. Nick, no, Jesus, Alex, turn on the live chat. Nick, B. Lavesh, T. Sikorsky, Z33, Kemzilla, John Bonanno, Joe Swish, Monty 540, Bryson Whip putting up the best apparel store around. richprince.com/YDBT. You're going to get your YDBT hats, Amory, Dolo, Amory, YDBT flat bill, Section 8 shirts, Hush Money shirts, 1320 Didios, and F1320 shirts. Shout out to everyone that bought the shirts. I guarantee they sold at least 30 to 40 or 50 shirts because I bought 4. And I saw nothing but people in the Amory sporting the F1320 stuff. Shout out to you guys. I love the fact that you support the cause, and we're in the middle of a war. Fuck 1320 all day, every day. Paul Ponthieu, Clean 93 GT, Clint Stroke, Oscar Hernandez, Coyote Kelly, Andy Ali, Wesley Stewart. We got Tango, D-Rock Fox, CJM, Chuck Wazowski, AL, LCV, whatever the fuck that means. Don Wick, Big Guns, Candace Lupus, Mark Christensen, CPR, Andrew 94 GT Vert, Phil Fez, I'm coming up on your rear, brother. Hey yo, this GT500 I think is gonna perform pretty well once I get 20 psi to it. It's on a 3.5 upper pulley and a stock balancer. That means it is stock. And the fact that it blazes tire so easily on that 1-2 shift, guys, that clip at the end of the video, that was a 1-2. You hear the car launch, and then in the middle of what you think is a rev, it's a fucking shift, boom, boom, and it just blazes the fucking tire. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be wild. Sean King, Gregory Upfitch, Rev Racing, Jay Walker. What's up? Good morning, Jay Walker. Pour more pews, more boost, Jay-Z's Garage. Mini by Madman, Mark Larantanda. Good morning, Allison Crew. I've been gone to Tennessee for the week and drove the Tail of the Dragon. Amazing. I hope everyone has a good week. You guys are weird. Tony, James, and Jay. Tony the truck guy. Who drove the Tail of the Dragon? Whoa. Glass Roof Coyote, Nardi Mercado, Jay-Z's Garage, D. Sean, Fred, Coyote, Leo, the other Evan Smith. Chuck, I'm about to say, my 19-year-old nephew can drive a stick. Actually, his vehicle is currently a manual. Good. Hey, Craig Walls, Jay Walker. I wouldn't say EVs are gay. You can buy some pretty badass EV. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up. Just a stick shift. And Ford's EVs, okay? We're talking about Ford's EVs. Show me a EV that Ford makes that makes you go, this is badass. Can you get a whatchamacallit? Can you get a Plaid for $50,000? Yeah. But not, read the title. Jesus Christ. Man, the way I got my car set up, I just took the slicks off and got some radios on the car now. Just waiting for some decent weather on the weekend and go test the car. Yeah, a lot of people setting up their cars with radials. My car might end up with radials, but for now, I'm going to just keep it on a slick because I don't want to get a clutch tamer and all that stuff yet. It's just not there yet. So let's read this article and then we'll talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about, really. Oh my God, did I get rid of the article? I think I did get rid of the article. Actually, let's talk about what ended up happening at the reunion. Let's do that first. So John Jr. posted on his Facebook something pretty interesting. Trying out a new part at the reunion presented by Turbo Smart this weekend. Second pass, we got into track control about 100 feet or so. Shoots were out early. It looks promising. Not sure we will have it gathered this morning to put together the short track we've had with the new back half. And then... here it is. Killer flyby shot of our 665 at 260 miles an hour with a 116 short. Again, that's Bradenton in the daytime, which is slick as shit. This ProTorque 6R80 bolt together torque converter is killer. It was made specifically for us to test some new stuff for them. They're working on, and it paid off. G meter is up 60 to 330, so we're able to slow the car down where it needs to and be able to pick it up in the middle to make up for it. Tighten it up in the right places. With it all put together, we'll get more in the 50s quicker soon. And then during that pass, there's a little bit of oil smoke. If you look at this pass, guys, a headphone warning because it might be really loud. You see in the catch can, the car actually kind of spit out some stuff out the back. So where's the volume? Is there volume here? Yeah, there it is. Let's lower it a little bit. So that little smoke, they found the catch can or the puke tank had a little bit of aerated oil in it. So they were like, okay, let's be careful with it because, the last thing you want to do is chuck a rod or anything like that. You want to make sure that the oil pump is doing fine and all that stuff. So I think that was very smart of Junior to, not go crazy. So let me type in Ford stick shift EV. And it was, I think, the New York Post or the Daily Mail. The New York Post. Here we go. Stupid, but let's talk about it. Ford files patent to bring old school stick shift to electric vehicles, but Gen Z drivers don't know how to use them, which is silly, but I get what they're trying to do. Ford's new electric vehicle could soon see a retro edition manually shifting gears. A patent application for the automaker published this month details a gear shift for electric cars that mimics the appearance of a traditional stick shift, but without any gears to actually switch in between. The issue, only 18% of Americans know how to use, a stick shift, with the number even lower among drivers. Well, that wasn't written properly. According to the Daily Mail, the addition of a gear shift could be an attempt to mitigate complaints regarding the lack of driver engagement reported among EV users. Electric vehicles lack operator vehicle physical feedback that is advantageous to conventional motor vehicles. The company wrote in a patent, which outlined the design of an electric gear shift mounted on a raised console. This gear shift would vibrate. Sit on that motherfucker and provide resistance to mimic the manual transmission or a fuel powered vehicle, while allowing the driver to control the electricity between the car, battery, and the motor. Hyundai's Ioniq 5N features fake EV shifting, which mimics how a manual transmission would behave. Similarly, Toyota's Lexus RZ will feature interactive manual drive, which it recreates the feeling of the midsize SUV 8-speed manual transmission, according to reports. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The first time I got in an EV, I experienced what they were talking about. Got in an Uber, got in a Model Y, and the thing just accelerated. And I went, huh. And it is just constant acceleration. Now, I've been in very fast cars. I've been low eights. Acceleration is nothing new to me. But this feeling was so foreign to me. I was expecting something else. I was expecting, like, boy, it's kind of hard to explain. It actually kind of got me car sick. If you talk to EV owners that don't have, look, I get car sick if I'm in the back of a car and I'm mounted on the high side. Like, nothing gets me more car sick than seeing you driving an SUV and me in the back. I will absolutely puke because it's just a lot of this without, you expecting it. So with the Tesla, what was happening was the guy who was driving me, who was Jamaican, by the way, who were probably the worst drivers on the fucking planet. He just kept accelerating and slowing down. And I'm like, give me some linear, predictable driving habits. No. So I think not only the power delivery of the Model Y, but the way the idiot was driving, it wasn't desirable. Now, should I actually get into Model S Plaid and experience what you guys are talking about? Maybe. But I don't think that mimicking a manual transmission is the way to do it. The best car I own and the best car in terms of driving, just drivability, is by far, Donnie, by far, the high torque converter, instant torque you get because now the car is in a favorable RPM. That makes it feel good, and I don't necessarily need a stick shift, but I need to be able to manipulate the car in such a way that it's favorable to the way I drive. Now, a lot of people that drive an automatic don't know how to drive an automatic. I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of people just smash the gas and think it's going to do what it does, and then they complain about how it drives. For example, I had a customer, nothing against him, I had a customer complain to me that his turbo truck in 6th gear, when you give it gas, it doesn't accelerate. And I'm like, why should it? Diesels do that. Diesels that make tons of torque, you just give it a little accelerator and it just surges forward because the turbo kicks in pretty quick. But on a gas-powered vehicle, you have to use the kickdown logic. So what that means is if you're driving steady state 60 miles an hour and you want to pass somebody, you don't do this to the gas. No, you go, and the car goes, woo, holds it specifically for about 5 seconds. There's a timer. It holds that RPM, and then you can go ahead and accelerate again. That is kickdown logic. That's been around since the fucking 60s when cars had a kickdown cable. This has been a thing forever. So, you have to kind of like understand what people want. And I don't think the Teslas and the EVs are boring because they don't necessarily have a lot of driver input. It's the torque delivery. So there is probably a way of programming, like the Ioniq 5 does, let's say, power curve that is almost gear-based, pedal-based, because when you just mash it and let the car do what it does, predictability is gone. You're just holding on for the ride. But again, I shouldn't really talk too much on it until I probably get a Model S Plaid, a nice one, get in one, drive it for a day, and then report back from a performance car perspective owner how it feels. The GT500 is just raw. Okay, like that car has a face-plated T56, no synchronizers between first and fourth, fifth and sixth are wonderful, but the thing is just a raw ass feeling car. It sucks driving it normally, but when you get on it and you give it a hard shift at 7,500 RPMs, it feels buttery, smooth, and engages nicely, and that's the only time it really is useful. But there was a nice breakthrough with the tuning on that, so we can talk about all that stuff. So we'll talk about it. Do you care? Do you want a stick shift? Do you want a mimicking stick shift Mach-E GT? Is that what we want? Do you want your Ford F-150 Lightning EV to go, ooh, 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 or is that going to become annoying? I don't see that being a good thing. Or is Ford just simply filing a patent so nobody else does it? That's all. 9 times out of 10, they just protect intellectual property, and they don't actually bring anything out. What about the Coyote that was all-wheel drive? Remember that patent that everyone was talking about? Oh my God, Alex, they filed a patent for it. They just did that just so nobody else would do it. It's protectionism. New bar angles on the rear end. Excited to see what it does, says Phil Faz. Yeah, but you got to have a clutch tamer with a drag radial. So don't expect to go out there without a clutch tamer and a drag radial and expect good results. 1320 Ford Edition, exactly. Ford doesn't make a badass EV. Why are we still talking about Ford? They weren't relevant. Because that's what this channel is. We're not going to become a fucking BMW channel all of a sudden. So the guy who said he wouldn't say EVs are gay should just exit left. Would love a Coyote with 75 horsepower. Exactly. Would love a Coyote with a 75 horsepower e-motor up front. If we couldn't tune that car, I'd give $70,000 for it. Nice. Dodge outs that inline 6 twin turbo all drive with the new Charger. It'll be lights out for Ford, especially if they keep the PCMs open. The Mustangs will pile up even more the Broncos at the dealership. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I agree that, and I talked about it, the Hurricane motor in that same Charger, man, that would be an interesting thing. So let's say, Jay Walker, for the sake of argument, Ford still does not have tuning open on their Mustang. And the Hurricane-equipped ICE engine in that same Charger, and it stays all-wheel drive, not only beats it by like the same amount, but now you can't complain at all about ICE versus EV. The Hurricane motor, Hurricane engine, equipped Charger is not going to be 5,800 pounds. The reason the Charger is 5,800 pounds because of the batteries and the motors. But now let's say that same chassis, Jay Walker, he has a point, has a Hurricane motor that makes 550 horsepower. And it weighs 4,200 pounds, which is what the Mustang basically weighs, the Dark Horse. And it beats it by the same amount. You don't think I'm going to be in here doing jumping jacks and backflips, laughing my ass off, that now a ugly, gross, disgusting Charger with a Hurricane high output engine beats the ever-living shit out of a Mustang, and it's tunable. Because as far as I know, they're tunable, right? Isn't that engine right now tunable with the, what's the name of that big SUV that they have? The Cherokee, huge fucking thing. And in their Ram. Look, I think the inline 6 has more upside than anything EV in the aftermarket performance space. Again, once you go EV, you can't do shit to them except make them lighter. And once they're lighter, it cuts into their traction control shit. But once you have a Hurricane-equipped inline 6 that's tunable in a Charger, and it beats the Mustang by the same amount, and you can modify it, and you can up the boost, and you can get race gas in it, and you can do ethanol blends with it, and modify it, who do you think is going to sell more product? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, the Hurricane is tunable. That'll be interesting to see what happens. Ford developing EVs more than their gas-powered vehicles. Ford hasn't learned from lost sales on all fronts. F. Jim Farley. Joseph Vermont says, Alex, I wish my manual BMW could pull away using the clutch. Okay, Alex, I wish my manual BMW could just pull away using just the clutch. It has twin discs and it's a fucking light switch. I know tuning is different, but is this tuning or just the clutch? So the Slinky Test apparently got a lot of people up in arms with my GT500. So people don't understand how, if you're like a, and again, I hate to say this word because it makes it sound like I'm better than anybody else, but I kind of am. If you're a high-level stick shift driver, the Slinky Test matters to you so much because the ability to get in a car, let off the clutch, and have that car just drive in a parking lot is massive. Now people go, Alex, what'd you do? This isn't a tuning thing. Well, that's hard. That's a hard one to kind of explain. But this is what I'm talking about. The Slinky Test, meaning I go in a parking lot and I simply let go of the clutch and the car doesn't surge or
The
bug.
throttle's predictable, not wonky. Testing all. Boom. So, boom. Off the gas, right? Totally off the gas. So that's the Slinky test. It's not accelerating crazy. It stays at about idle. I'm also testing to make sure that the belt doesn't fly off. Like, I'm testing.
Now, what I mean by that is I'm testing everything, right? I'm just basically going out there, beating the shit out of it, making sure the drive stays good. There's a Fiat bracket that's new. There's a belt routing that's new. A bunch of things that are new on this thing that are not done anywhere else. All of it is custom, so I have to make sure all that works. So that Slinky test, a lot of people were a little confused by. But guys, did you listen properly when I took off when I just took the... Okay, just listen to how I take off in this car. You guys want to hear that again? Because I think you guys need to hear that again. Did you hear? Vroom, 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 vroom. Vroom, 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 vroom. Wop, 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 wop. No, because I'm a fucking retard that drives like a fucking retard. Now, if my car started chattering the clutch and doing weird shit, okay, then things have to change. So, is how the car launches tuning related? I would say if you have a predictable throttle, yes. The reason I'm allowed to launch the car that way is because I have a predictable throttle. The car has 2 throttle bodies. The tuning breakthrough that I talked to with John Jr. after he was leaving the reunion, we kind of like exchanged messages back and forth, and in his mind he goes, okay, I think I know what the breakthrough was, and then I'm sure when he gets home he'll see that I synced the file and go, shit, look at that, it looks really good, the throttle is doing what we want, and it seems to be predictable, and the way I launch the car lends you to believe that I have throttle control. So I think it's a couple of things, Joseph, to answer your question. If you have a twin disc clutch, which I do too, that has an RXT. That's right, kiddos. The John Deere tractor clutch launches like that. But it's because I have throttle control. If you have a chattery clutch, then you probably have a flywheel that's not worn in properly. But this is a steel flywheel, not an aluminum flywheel. So that might have something to do with it. Coyote Austin, I've seen him burn. Okay. Had a Wagoneer rental last week and it overheated, got towed. Hurricane is going to have cooling issues. The intercooler is buried in the engine and the thermostat water temp is trash. And I'm really lucky what techs to work on them. Coyote Austin, let me ask you a question though, Coyote Austin. Okay, I get it. What if you replace the intercooler to a favorable position? What if you turn up the boost? What if you get a bigger intercooler, turn up the boost, mitigate the IAT issues? Do you think that thing is going to be a pretty good, powerful engine? Yes or no? Skill issues, Joseph. I have a twin disc in my BMW and have no issue. I love being able to cruise parking lots with no throttle. Kyle has his own definition of a Slinky test. Hey, yo. Tunable 550 horsepower Hurricane is fire. Needs a great looking CUDA-inspired body, though. We talked about that. Tony the Truck Guy, Jay Walker, same. I want to see if the Hemi fits in this new body style Charger. Imagine if they have adapted for VVT or dual overhead cam. Variable valve timing. Yeah, a couple of dudes, YouTube are all on the Grand Wagoneers, though. I don't know about the Rams. Joseph, you just got to work with that left leg. Joseph says, you can tune a diaphragm clutch, Joseph Ramon, but it's mechanical tuning, master cylinder bore, air gap. You're probably using an aggressive pressure plate and or disc. Boy, you guys are good. There's a lot of great feedback on this chat when it comes to letting people know that why their car is not running this the way they are. The reason I went with the RXT clutch on my GT500 is because it was free. Jake just had some laying around. Like, yeah, how much you want? He goes, nothing. So I have 3 of them. So if any of them go, I have them ready to go. But I also have the ability to switch them. You know, I'm going to have 2 stick shift vehicles. The Z01's going to have the same clutch as the GT500. It's going to be interchangeable, so I don't fuck around. Now, actually, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I talked to Mantic, and I haven't gotten back to Jeff Gurko about it. I know you guys probably feel weird about Mantic, but I need a custom clutch specifically to fit the Corvette because of the depth that the clutch has to achieve to be able to grab the splines and have the pilot bushing, actually engage on the pilot on the input shaft is going to be custom. So technically I have 3 RXT clutches that are for the GT500. Sorry. Speaking of 6-shift, Unk can still shift pretty damn fast. Glad to see you happy driving Section 8. You guys have no idea. You guys think I'm like this, like, okay, just because I'm not active racing and beating the shit out of my cars all the time doesn't mean I can't. So it's pretty funny when someone goes, Alex can still shift. I am probably one of the better guys you'll ever meet fucking with 6-shift stuff. I know, you don't know what the, prove it. Okay, cool. Every single time I get in a car with somebody and I beat the shit out of their car and they allow me to do it, they're like, okay, this guy's got some talent. I have broken so many T5s, so many transmissions, so many Tremex that now I know the tips and tricks of the trade to keep the car alive a long time. This is my first faceplated situation. So I'm like, all right, I'm not a big fan of the drivability, but when I go watt and shift it, there's not much better than a faceplated transmission. Does the Hurricane use a traditional intercooler setup or a charged air cooler integrated with the intake manifold like BMW and Mercedes do? Frank S550, isn't there a Hurricane crate engine? I swear I saw Dodge Dart at an event. It was a lame Dart 2. My car chatters if I do, says Joseph Vermont. Hit up X Clutch for a custom clutch solution. Stop it. Sorry, Theo, variable KM timing. Yeah, when you say VVT, I just lose my mind. I have a standard output Hurricane in my 23 Wagoneer and it moves the big boat effortlessly. There is tuning available too. Basically, Alex said it's a driver issue. Yeah, pretty much. Alex, do you wear those Beats at the gym? No, I used to, and I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know about you guys. I don't like to not know what's happening out there. So when you wear these, you are insulated. You're in your own world. I don't like that. I like hearing if someone is screaming or some weird. I like being aware of my surroundings. Some people need to get into a zone to go to the gym. I'm not a child. I can concentrate with shit going around me, so I don't need these. I brought these a couple of times, and what it did was it desensitized me to my surroundings, and I don't like being desensitized to my surroundings. When I go to a restaurant, my back is to the wall. I'm weird like that. I don't like just like being vulnerable. I just like to know what's going on. You need to make sure the air gap on the McLeod clutches is tuned properly, or else you'll have accelerated wear issues. Shifting. Just mentioning, seeing Garrett struggle to launch race a true stick shift compared to the strain gauge slipper clutch is hilarious. Where? Oliver Bryan. I guess I don't watch his stuff. But when the rubber meets the road, when it's 100% up to the driver, right? There's a reason I don't like modern stick shift racing. It has too many nannies. The strain gauge cutting spark between the shift, and all you do is move a stick back, forward, and back, to me is absolute horseshit. A Jericho or a G-Force style transmission where you just mash it and just go ba 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 ba, to me is absolute horseshit. If you call yourself a stick shift driver and all you do is release the clutch and go down, slide angle down, or even gayer, a vertigate style shifter where it goes up, down, I think you should take your balls and cut them right off. You're not a stick shift driver. In my opinion, a true stick shift class would be where you have to clutch in between the shifts. Once you do strain gauge, once you do two steps, once you do all these nannies to make your life easier, hell, face plating is probably something in there. I mean, you're going to blow through the synchro, but you still have to clutch in my opinion, to be a true stick shift driver. Anything else is technically H pattern, but look, what is so different than going up to the line, clutch in, and you go release the clutch, and now your left foot can pretty much dangle off to the side, and all you do is ba ba ba, or bump in, which is more work. Hold the two-step, bump in, trans brake, bump in. That's more work. Let go, and then go. If you actually shift your Turbo 400, which I see these air shifters, and I'm just fucking mind blown. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that is no different. So the people that brag about you're a badass motherfucker because you stick shift drive your car, but you got a strain gauge and you do less work than a Turbo 400 guy that shifts his own shit. Shut the fuck up. I don't watch stick shift racing, guys. I stopped. Stick shift is coming up. I don't care. Move on to the next one. Why do you call the RXT a tractor clutch? It looked smooth. It looked to me It does it chatter like hell when you sit on a bit point? Yeah, it's a long story. All Gen 3 creator engines are hard to source. I read a forum, people are saying this. RXT is the best. You can send them back to McLeod and get, for $400, they got a rebuild and a balance your tire setup to reinstall. Mine's aluminum. That's the problem probably. It's probably because yours is aluminum, mine is steel. Yes, the entire intake setup, virtually everything would have to be repositioned. Even the turbos, I'd imagine. It's a really weird design. I'd have to look into it. I guess I don't know much about the Hurricane. I'd love to have all this fucking money and be able to just do 15,000 things. Guys, there's a reason the GT500 took so long. 100% me. 100% me. Now, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that I have no help. So it's going to take that long. Donnie, I called to get the control arms put in 2 weeks ago. A week ago. I haven't heard back. I'm like, I guess I'm putting the control arms in. I got a guy that wants to put my mentors in, or AFCOs in. I'm like, by the time I could just do it myself. It's just stupid. Then everyone making intelligent comments. Meanwhile, I'm making Cletus jokes. Alex, do you know when the Lund site will be back up? It's down. Lund Racing. Lund Racing. .com. Let me see. Lund Racing. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. Yeah, we're updating a bunch of stuff. You're just going to wait. And you know the nice thing about shutting off the website? We get caught up. Like, I think that's a good thing to do. Just shut off the website so you can't order. I like it. Hurricane Charger would be cool. Bolt-on car E if you could keep it alive. If you cut your teeth speed shifting a T5, you know how to shift. Abso-freaking-lutely, CJN. It's not a skill issue because my stage 2 clutch didn't do this. The no-lift shift crowd are the ones that are up in arms about the Slinky Test. Dude, when I see, hey, can I no-lift shift with this tune? What the fuck's a tune got to do with it? What the fuck the tune got to do with it? You can no-lift shift a stock car. You can no-lift shift a Fox body. You can no-lift shift a fucking Volkswagen Rabbit. You can no-lift shift whatever the fuck you want. You're just going to have to suffer the consequences of doing that. What are the consequences? Broken synchros? Smoked clutches? I don't know. Many things. I knew you've always had the skill, especially the videos of the white car. There's a video I can't find of the white car where I am so proud of the shifting. God damn it. I got to find it. Let me see. Alejandro Flores, White 900. Dude, there's a view of the back of the car. And I am shifting that thing 60 to 130. And the 2-3 shift is fucking chef's kiss, bro. I was like, bro, I'm glad I caught that shit on camera. Alejandro Flores, 19 GT. And I'm shifting it. And I'm like, bro, this thing was getting after it, and the shifts just sounded beautiful. Let's say 60 to 130, 60 to 130. If anyone can find it, 60 to 130, 60 to 130. Bro, the 2-3 shift was crisp, was money. Is this it? Let me see. 8 low. No. It's a view in the back. Basically the view is looking at the back of the car. So the camera is mounted in the bumper, and I can't find that video. I saw it once, never to be seen again, and I don't know where the hell it went. It just like disappeared. Let me see. No, this is all ZR1, and I think it's not labeled 60 to 130, but the fact that I was able to get those crisp, clean shifts out of that car, and it's looking towards the back, I was extremely proud of. Let me see. No, that's not it. No, that's a forward-facing video. Let me see. Nope. So yeah, if you guys can like find that video for me and send it to me on wherever, just let me know where. I want to play that video. Gosh, it was so good. 19 GT. Let me just type in draggy. It was, and this was a synchronized MT82. You know, nothing crazy. Dang. Can't find it. So if you guys can find it, let me know. Because, man, it was so good. It's been a couple of years for me, Oliver. Stock 21 GT500 on 93 besides the Lund tune. What other upgrades do you suggest to get around 800 roll horsepower? Boy, the problem is 93. I know they probably can do that, but I'm one of these guys that I would never aim for 800 horsepower 93. I don't care about the compression. I don't care that another tuner can do it. I think it's stupid to shoot for 800 horsepower on 93 octane. There's my answer. Armiette says, I figured out the transit issue I was having that you had to tune out. The Circle D converter dumped a bunch of material into fluid and wrecked everything in my 10R from clutches to input shaft. I'm sorry. See, sometimes I hate to be that guy in the ticket system to tell people you might have a mechanical issue. Look, the reason Lund Racing reached out to ProTorque, I think, is because ProTorque has a lot of data on stator, lockup stuff, but they were open to our suggestions. Meaning, Lund Racing literally took measurements of where they would like, certain things to be based on fluid transfer. Look, if you want to get into the matrix of converter control, look at the fluid path, look at the valve body, and look at what people are doing to do dump valves and which clutches and this and that. And Lund Racing was looking at fluid path situations with converters and what would happen in certain RPMs, and they have data in terms of pressure versus how the path of the fluid is run. So they reached out to ProTorque. ProTorque said, here you go. Here's the bolt together converter with different stators. So they're like, let's try this one. And luckily they nailed it on the first try. So now Junior takes all that data, decompiles it, puts it across, and starts talking to ProTorque. And like, ProTorque, this is this is that, this is this and that. So if you have a big boy, big power converter, 6R80 car, well, now you have potentially, if ProTorque wants to get in the game, ProTorque can now say, this is spec'd out by Lund Racing. This is 100% spec'd out in the Grey Goose. Meaning, you own the vehicle you're tuning the part on. Again, I can't say that enough. I know you guys probably get sick of me saying that, but I can't say that enough. When a tuner does not have access to the vehicle, there is no way he can tune it properly. There's a reason why the Slinky Test is a very popular thing that people talk about, because I wanted to make sure that was something that my vehicle that I own was vetted with this file. Is it worth building a 10R? Nope. Get it out of your fucking life. Get it out of your life. Don't even bother. Get a Turbo 400. Stop fucking around. Thought the video of Jeremiah Camp's car had some good shifting. Your best shifting videos was the black car, 90,000 mile stock clutch, calling out the non-driving fucks. What is even a muscle car now? Rev limiters, governors, electrics, now inline sixes. What was the last muscle car in your opinion? The Challenger. The Challenger. I mean, what's a muscle car? Straight line, a lot of power, and heavy. Sports car, something that goes to road races and turns, stops, triathlete. The last muscle car was the Challenger. The Demon, the red eye wide body. I would still love a red eye wide body, but I'm not looking to race it. It should make 850 to 900, and I cruise it and fuck around. Alex, shifting secret is the pedal extender. To me, a manual comes more naturally than an auto or DCT or CVT, etc. Every brand has quirky, weird buttons and modes and bullshit. A manual just translates across all platforms. See, a lot of people don't really get that you have to understand how you're connected to a car when it feels like an extension of you. Maybe Porsche does that better than anybody, but when it comes to a manual, it's hard to beat. So JD Swag, I think, found it. 10-minute mark. Oh, Jesus. 10-minute mark. 10-minute mark. Really? Oh, boy. JD Swag. Man dip thing. So let's listen to some God shifts. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, let's listen to some God shifts. Again, MT82, synchronized, nothing fancy. Gotta go up over a bridge here. There's another bridge. Small one. Right around here, I should be able to hit it. Alex, how come you didn't give me the verbal pop tunes? I'm not doing that on purpose. The car just does it on its own. Wait, did I do a dig pull? Huh. I thought I did a 60 to 130, JD Swag. Liar. That's not it. Nope. There is a video of even quicker shifts. That's not the video. Sorry. Love you guys. That is not the video. I did a video where it sounded... No. Look for another video that is a 60 to 130. That's not it, though. I shifted way better in that other video because I was still working with stock stuff, and I was like, man, if I break the transmission, it's over. So you can hear in that video, I kind of like... eased it into gear, but there's another video where it fucking went into gear and it sounded like I just spit on it. It's like, I was like, oh, bro, if I find that video, that is not the video though. I would be livid if my new converter dumped a bunch of trash in my trans. Found the JD. No, it's not. That's not the video. There's another video of me looking out the back like that. Find it. And I think that one will show you way better shifting, and I'll probably play it 4 or 5 times because I was very proud of that moment. The converter stuff is one of these interesting things that has been kind of like an untalked about subject. And I'm not going to go into detail, but, you know, bolt together stuff is interesting. People wonder why Lund Racing stuck with a 4M single piece non-lockup converter in the Grey Goose. It's because that one had the least amount of issues. Let's be honest. We tried many. And, you know, I've always made the case that if the manufacturer wants you to try a part on a 2,000 horsepower vehicle, I think the manufacturer has to pony up all the money if shit goes downhill. Because imagine you build a $200,000 car and the manufacturer goes, try this catch can. Right? And the catch can check valve fails, and now your crankcase pressure isn't relieved into the catch can, and it blows up ringland. Okay, now that motor has to come out and has to get built for $15,000 to $20,000. Who ponies up that money? So testing stuff at my power level, sub 600, 700, no problem. 2,000? We ain't trying nothing. We're putting something in that we feel we have more control over. We have a say, and people aren't just trying stuff. So it was nice to see that ProTorque was open to suggestions. They had a call, you know, they had a good communication, and Junior had feedback, Senior had feedback, Jake had feedback, and son of a bitch, when you allow us to have feedback on something before it gets built, and ProTorque nails it on the first try, it's great. It just helps the market. Now, someone like me doesn't need anything like that. I have a Circle D converter in my car. Wonderful. The 2B on Donnie is perfect. But I'm talking about big boy stuff. Big boy dumb stuff. Viewer says, you're talking about the video when you installed the Ben Calamer Gen 3 Stage 3 trans. Yes. So the Stage 3 trans, let me see if I could Google that. Alejandro Flores Calamer Stage 3. Because I said, okay, if this is a Stage 3, my thing is to try to break it, right? That's the whole thing. Like, let me go and try to break this thing. Because if I can try to break it, and I can give feedback to the builder and say, here you go, you know, hey, I shifted it like a man, like you asked me to, and it ate shit, or it didn't. Here it is. Is this it? Let me see. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. But there's definitely a view from the back that this thing just fucking, I do a dumb 2-3. And that's why I wasn't being soft with it. I was told, hey, go beat the shit out of this transmission and see what happens. And I was able to get crispy shifts on it. The problem was this. I just unplugged everything. The problem was that the input shaft of that transmission, it's here. The input shaft of the transmission isn't made out of a Billy Badass material, so the beatings that I gave it actually bent the input shaft. This is the actual input shaft of that, and if you can see it, right, it's a little twisted, and that twist is from the torque, the rotational torque of the car, and the weight of the car, and the grip of the clutch, and this guy started to just basically not knurl, but it started to kind of do this effect. So then that said to me, you know, a heavy ass car shifting hardcore, you have to make your car lighter at the end of the day. But if you guys can find that specific video, that'd be awesome, so I can show it. No, Joe Swish, not a lockup style ProTorque. It couples harder. So basically, the stator allows you to adjust the slip, but the problem is you got to drop the transmission and do that each time. So what they're going to do now is make sure the motor's okay and probably put in a next step tighter stator, and to see, because it went 216 miles an hour on similar boost, where it went 218 in Texas 2K in worse condition. So that's a very promising thing on the same 6R80. Yeah, how the fuck do you even stop that? You get a fancy converter with debris and it takes out your trans wood. Filling the converter with ATF, sloshing it around, and then dumping out will do anything. No, if something broke inside of the converter, there's nothing you could do. Can you flush those new converters out somehow before you install them? Yes, you can. I know what video you're talking about. The shifts were seamless. Hello, Alex. The only thing that makes sense on the EV manual would be if teens were trying to learn manual driving lessons. So remember the California cruising game? That's how I imagine the modern EV stick shift would go. There's a brake and a pedal. And you go boo, 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 boo. And there's a slight surge in between. You know, do, 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 do. And then when you come to a stop, it doesn't care what gear you're in. It'll just lug. So you go, oh shit, I got to put it in first. There is no synergy. There is no, there's a dance. There's a bit of a dance when you drive a manual car. Okay, I'll give you an example, right? I was going out with this chick named Tiffany. Her ass was phenomenal. Dude, I just couldn't believe her ass. This was back in Massachusetts. So any girl in Florida right now is freaking out. Relax. It was back in Massachusetts. And she had a Nissan Sentra manual. So I'm like, we'll see this, you know. So we were gonna go out to dinner, and she is coming up to a turn, right? She's slowing down, decelling. She put it in neutral. Nothing wrong with that. Now there are no cars coming. She could see it. So I'm like, I wonder what gear she's gonna put it in. So I'm looking, and you know what she does? Seamlessly, while the car's coasting at about 50 miles an hour, puts it in second, lets go of the clutch, does not give it gas, and it seamlessly goes. I was like, what? I'm hitting that raw tonight because it was that good of a shift. She got the bicho. She got the long bicho. Quality, hip thrusting, you know, just like I'm going to, you know, make love to you today because of the shift. I was like, damn, there was a talent that kind of like, and she hadn't been stick shift driving super long. And I was like, the dude that taught you how to drive did a good job. It was her dad. Spines are twisted for sure. Yes, sir. I had my stock torque converter blow in my Sock 6R80. Super lucky. It was 5 minutes from the shop. Pulled trans, drained oil, replaced filter, replaced torque converter. Got super lucky. I thought you drove Jeremiah Camps really well, or the black car when you drove to when you went to Modnets. No. Modnets shifts were pretty damn legit. No, dude. No, that she did not live. She was in a nice part of Connecticut, bro. Her ass was dude, I could not believe her ass. I just could not believe it. I'm like, she was 5'9", probably $190, and 50 pounds was in the ass. It was unbelievable. Cursing USA. Ass was phenomenal, but the attitude wasn't. It was not. It was pretty bad. Do you still have Tiff's number? I don't think so. I wish I could find her like on Facebook just to show you her ass. Fuck that EV shifting to teach kids. I grew up in a time where you pops taught you to swim and threw your ass in the pool. Good shifting, Tiffany is definitely a turn on. They can learn on a real damn clutch. This converter was having issues from brand new. It would slip a couple of hundred RPM in and out, steady cruising, and had to be tuned out. Oh, that's the one, Army Ed? Oh, fuck me. Yeah, so you had a car that was in 10th gear, and the converter would lock, unlock, lock, unlock, lock. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I look in the tune, I'm not doing that. So what did I have to do? I had to fudge it so that it would stay at a certain RPM under cruise conditions, I think. When you're hitting it, were you humming the sound of Tiffany's shifts? Absolutely. Dude, you know the problem with her is that she had a kid. If she didn't have a kid, she'd be wiped up. Kyle said he can shift good, wants the bitch. Off topic, says Oliver Bryan. I cannot get over seeing tuners baseline other tuners' tunes before reflashing. Why do you need to baseline it and log it at all? RPM. Okay. Kyle Loftus will give you stick shift lessons. Okay, now I got to find this. The best, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find that. Dude, that clip was just so good. The best transmission, 19 drag. Oh, is this it? Oh, well, let me see. Is this it? I think this might be it. Let me see. I think I found it. Dude, if I found it, that'd be badass. Oh, I think I found it. It's called, well, let me see. Let me make sure. Let's see. Let's see, because if this is the one, I'm going to play it like 15 times because I'm just so proud of these shifts. Again, he asked me to beat the shit out of it, so I did. Meaning, don't sit back, Alex. Just let it rip. See what breaks. Here we go. Woo! Get the fuck out of here. Show me another motherfucker. Show me another motherfucker that can dance like this. Fuck you. Listen to this shit. Oh, I'm gonna come. Woo! I'm sorry. My dick is way hard right now. No nannies, no bullshit, no wop box, straight cheese. Fuck all that, man. Fuck all that. That was so good. Let me see what I'm doing here. Let me see. Did I record that? Did I record that from the inside? Look at chubby Alex. Look at chubby Alex. Still rocking. Actually, I look the same. Woo! Oh! Yeah, I look over. 704, 6130. Bro, I love it. I love that shit. I'm going back. One more for the boys. Cause god damn it, yo, shit. I gotta protect my reputation here, bro. No. Okay, can you have shit faster than a DCT? When you tell me, try to break it. Okay. Okay. Say less. Alex doesn't ship that fast. Fuck you. Sheesh, that's it. Exactly. No, Alex didn't know that. Give me, all I need is the opportunity. See, the problem is I don't have the opportunity. A lot of people get a better opportunity and they do well, right? I have to do everything by myself because everyone's a fucking fuck. No one does their fucking job right. Everyone tries to fuck you. So I got to become a goddamn welder, car mechanic, tuner, life coach, you know? Fuck. I got to worry about everyone else's cars. I can't worry about my own shit. If I had just to worry about my own shit, bro, stop it. Stop all that. Yep, that was me. Should have pulled it in when you told me something was messed up in there, but it is what it is. Lesson learned. Oh, I'm so sorry. Speed sounds like an auto. A wagon. Probably one of the white car 6130. I just came just for sexual. Let's say too father. Insert Trump. I'm gonna come, man. I used to be a decent. Not like me. Nope. Not like me. No way. Fuck that. I put my money on me all the fucking time. I own a 14 GT and I want to know if there's a specific flex fuel kit you'd recommend. None. No flex fuel. Fuck flex fuel. Stupid. And it was not a power shift. I lifted in between the shifts. If there were more than 1% of stick guys who could shift like that, we wouldn't have these autistic stick versus modern auto arguments. It couldn't be any more perfect. That shit would be my ringtone. Clip it. Can I clip that? Can I clip this? I think I can clip it. Let me. That shift doesn't even make sense because you have to think of what's happening mechanically. I have to clutch in, I have to and I gotta let off. How the fuck I got so much talent? I gotta nail it. No! Fuck. Man, fuck out of here. They ain't want to talk all that shit. Yeah. But no, he decided to do some whack shit. See you later. Fuck it. That 2-3 is very impressive. Wait until I get some video on the blue car. Wait until I actually get that blue car dialed and I do 60 to 130 on that car. Oh, it's gonna be similar. Check it in at the Jupiter Inlet right now. You were right about the water, Dio. Isn't it so fucking blue? Hey, John Jones, are you on IG? Message me. The water is fucking ice blue. It blows my mind how pretty it is out there right now. But Alex, a no-lift shift is faster. Mod to fame. Alex, I know I'm behind the Charger 6-pack. It has a high output Hurricane. I would love to see that versus a Dark Horse. So, yeah, we talked about that. I would love to see it. That shift sounds like it's got an N2MB no-lift shift enabled. No, just... It's all Puerto Rican beef. That's what's enabled. Puerto Rican beef and talent. Look, when someone says, okay, let's say I had someone that said, yeah, here's this car. I don't give a fuck if it breaks. You got it. Boy, say less. Okay, it ain't my shit. That transmission, he said, I want to see the failure points. So beat it up, fuck it up, send it back to me, and we'll see what the deal is. And that was the deal. Why do you need a welder? You have Turvey. His sister is just a bonus. She's hot. 409s or 456 for a D4 NA viewer. I would do boy. I'll be honest with you, Joe Swish. With a 28-inch tire, I do 456s. I would do 456s with a 28-inch tire. But you can shift the forward like an EV. Like imagine you get an EV and you try to shift like that, and there is like a nanny. Look, a stock car can't do that. Stock cars have like a torque reduction / clutch protection / rev limiter thing, tip in limit bullshit that does not allow you to do a shift like that. I could shift a car that has a carburetor with a faceplated T56 faster than a bone stock car that has torque reduction enabled. Do you guys know why the 24 GT manual doesn't run worth a fuck? So I suspect there's a ghost behind the machine on the 2024 and up S650 manual that does not allow you to do quick shifts. There is a ghost behind the machine that tells the car, if this, if then this, that, and then clutch temp and, gear ratio, and it shuts throttle. There is never, I repeat, yes, I do slightly back off the gas on the shift. There is never going to be a stock Mustang or a Whipple-tuned manual Mustang that allow me to shift it like that. There is tuned stuff that has to happen. Not that I'm making that shift happen because of, actually, technically, I am just turning things off. Or Lund is turning things off so that I can enable a shift like that. That 1-2 shift you did yesterday in the Maggie was pretty legit as well. Okay, did you guys know that this was a 1-2 shift? So, okay, guys, I'm gonna blow your minds right now. I'll blow your minds. A lot of people do not know that the reason the car blazed tire It's because it's a 1-2 shift. So let's find it. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, buddy, this is one of those episodes I'm just gonna be like, I'm so great. I'm so great at everything, guys. So here we go. Okay, so in this video, obviously I take off in first gear. And it sounds like I'm feathering the gas. Another test, okay? When you feather the gas to control wheel spin on a manual Mustang, throttle input has to be very predictable. Again, part of tuning. But you see it doesn't lay stripe. It lays stripe when I go into second, and it sounds like it's just me blipping the throttle. No, middle throttle blip, I slam it in a second, and that's when the wheel speed picks up and it blazes tire. There, that was a 1-2 shift. I'll tell you exactly where the 1-2 shift happened. Right there, right there. So the third pedal, the next time you hear the car accelerate, it's in second. There you go. That was a 1-2 shift. Like, that was legitimately a 1-2 shift. So a lot of people don't realize that. They just think I just like feathered it in first. No, the second gear shift allowed for more wheel speed, and it actually laid a good patch of rubber after that. Yeah, Alex would never get out of a 911 ST. I don't think I'd get in one. It's the only modern manual car besides Hondas that have a low mass clutch for seamless shifts, Jay Walker. Most don't know how to handle that. Alex would be right at home. Jay Walker, need to get into a 911 ST and hear him shift past 9,000 RPMs. Many say it's the best modern manual trans vehicle. That would make for a great video. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, probably. Look, I'm in love with manual shifting. Legitimate manual shifting. The nuances, the art. That's why I think modern stick shift drag racing is an abomination. It's an abomination of what stick shift is. I know you guys are on strain gauges. Look, if you're a Billy Badass stick shift racer, make a complete class of diaphragm synchroed classes. Oh, we just break them nonstop. Or you find a way to get it down the track. Look, back in the, I don't want to say the Fun Forward days, because even they had like face-plated Jericho crazy things. But I think there is way more talent in a guy that has a synchronized T56 with a diaphragm clutch that does like drag week than a guy that has a slipper clutch, slipper device, no offense, second shift racing, slipper clutch, slipper device, synchroed car, getting down. I want to make the GT500 go 8s with no nannies, so that I could look at this whole situation and say, that's all me. That's all me with the clutch, me with the tire pressure, tuning, suspension settings, me. The moment a device is doing something for me, it takes away from me. So I'm going to try to do what I can do to get this thing to go 8s my way. The only driver aid I guess I would need is a 2-step to hold the RPMs. So technically that could be true, but I could probably get away without doing that. Launch it at 6,000. Fuck it. But the RTR shifts fast, 488s in a D4. It's what the kids call driver mod. That shift is what happens when you know how to feather a throttle. The Didio shift slid right. I believe some BMWs have a clutch delay valve from factory to protect the clutch. Alex, getting back my membership in education, says Mini by Badman. Gotta go before I get arrested. Yeah, I had to get the fuck out of there because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's too smooth, the 1-2 shift too, Amir, here, because the drop from 1 to second is massive in BMWs. Alex, it's a faceplated trans though. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is a driver aid. I'm not gonna say no about that. No. D55s and D4 tends to lock you out of more gear than often than 373s. Alex likes porking 50-pound BBLs to build up his shifting muscles. Wow. Porking. How old are you? How old are you, bro? I guarantee you're in your 40s. No young guy says porking. That's an old guy term. Sandy Road on the OnlyFronts Sorry, ladies. Alex is taken by a manual. Damn, only 8,000 miles on Section 8? That thing even had its first oil change yet? Yeah, right. It's had 4 motors in it. Nobody can say Alex don't know how to handle a stick. Sheesh, don't let Kyle for 1320 find out. Can we get a Peasant Chat compilation video? No. So, look, I really think, oh, look, Chuck sent something. C&D Auto Tech. Who's this? Yeah, bit of a delay. That's better. Yeah, that guy's good. I think he has a 2-step enabled, right? Yeah, that's good. That's a good shift. That's a really good shift. And that's a Gen 2. Yeah. That guy's really good. Absolutely. Sounds good. Faceplated trans is an 8 if you put the strain gauge in it. Exactly, because I still have to clutch in. The face plating just eliminates the synchro and it goes in, but I'm still clutching in between the shifts. Now, I could try to just let off the throttle and get back in it and just yank the shifter, but I don't want to try that. I'm just going to lift in between. Look, the goal with the GT500 is to be like at 30 PSI with the low compression illuminator. Hopefully it survives. And then I can go 8.99. The moment that car goes 8.99 in the quarter, I'm done. I'm going to put Forge Star F14s in the bitch and cruise. Like, it ain't no reason to keep fucking around. Do you know what I'm saying? Sean King says he's going to pork her, Russ. Oh, shit. That clip is all right. No, it's good. He did a really good job. What I was listening to is I think he hit a rev limiter. And this is why I tell you guys, there is no rev limiter. There is no rev limiter. You understand? So let's talk about this. This is actually a subject near and dear to my heart, so I apologize. You're 58. I knew it. I knew it, Tall Starlight. When you said porkin', I said, what? It's like saying trolling for puss. Like, Tall Starlight, have you ever heard the term trolling for puss? Okay. When you hit a rev limiter, right, the engine does a lot of weird shit. But I'm talking about what's happening in the tuning and everything. So you hit it, pop up. Now the engine is trying to recover from hitting that rev limiter. So the cams, they probably do something weird, right? It hit a rev limiter, pop up. So now you go, what? In neutral, engine inertia will carry you past your shift point. So you go, whoop. And so let's say you go, what? And you yank back. And at 7,500 RPMs, engine inertia will take you past that. If you have a limiter, bring it back, you get it into gear, you'll hear like a double thing. It'll be like, wah, like, right? Two things. It's the rev limiter hitting and then the gear engaging. So if there is no rev limiter, you just engage the gear. Instead of that engine inertia carrying you past your shift point, hitting the rev limiter, bouncing it back, then engaging the gear makes it sound like it's a slower shift than it actually is. I apologize. I think about this way too much. I sit there and I scrutinize everything. So there's a reason. There's a thought process. There's the methodical nature of how I approach stick shift tuning. And I generally don't give you guys saucy shit because I look at the data log and I'm like, there's nothing I can do to help him. And I'm not going to move the rev limiter to 8,500 because you're taking a second and a half in between shifts. Man, there is no spoon. To be fair, I'm 35 and I do pork and sometimes for giggles. Just because hands down doesn't mean she can't give you the willy ups, Clint. Wow. I bet you've heard of the term cruising. I'm 56 and I've been driving a V8 manual car for almost 30 years. Trolling for puss is a dandy of a comment. Trolling for puss. A kid in my town blown his V6 Chrysler. Gore having a nitro. Wow. Smokey says, a kid in my town blown his V6. Wait a minute, Smokey. I'm going to have to read it as if He's one of my people. Here we go. It might make sense. I keep my town blown in V6 Chrysler. Go have a nitro after that hit. Pops bought him a 2110 R80 Coyote. And this kid ordered the ESS G3 for it. 2 bottles of nitrous. Question is, how you think he's going to have that car? Fuck. Shit. Oh, fuck. I was going to say take an aspirin, but I think he's just one of my people. Joe Switch says, for rookie stick drivers, easing off throttle on the shifts keeps the motor from spiking or stumbling. Smooth is fast. Junior recommended a block off the evap for my Gen 2 to see if a leak is in the evap is causing the stall after 4th year wobble. I got the PBH block off plow. What else to properly delete evap? I think that's it. And again, it's just a spick. Again, it's just a spick. It's to see if that is causing the issue. Porking used to mean banging. It is. Following Alex's lead, I spoke to the local Down syndrome girl at my local gym. Good Lord, she's got a rack on her. I mean, there's just something that extra chromosome does. Dude, the girl at the gym that looks like she's got Down syndrome's got the best ass I've ever... Like, the more I see of her, I'm like, I am probably going to try to hit that. I'm not. But man, it's nice to think about. It's better for unloading the trans to translate to shift point on the trans. We need a meme of that guy over explaining things to women. Caption is Alex talking about manual shifting on a date. Sorry I'm late, but I read the title and this world is coming to an end. Make sure to like, smoke, proofread before you submit a comment. I wish I could get credit scores to appear next to membership badges. Damn smoke. I'll respect the 6059 stick shift car, then a 5.6 auto bring back man pedal. Okay, that's a good one. So 60 to 130 times, you know, we talk about quick and fast, which I think is funny, but let's break it down. I think if you're in the 9s, 8s, and 7s, that's a fast NA car, 60 to 130, or a slow boosted car, 60 to 130. 9s, 8s, 7s, fast NA, slow boosted. 6, 5s, 4s, stupid. 6s you can achieve with about 750 wheel, stick shift, meh shifting. We're talking stick, forget auto. Auto just takes this and changes everything, especially 10R80. So respectable 6, 5s, and 4s. Dumb 3s and 2s. 2,000 horsepower R8s, 2,000 horsepower F-150s. So again, 987, fast NA, slow boosted, 654, fast boosted, like fat, very, very fast. And insanity is 3s and 2s. Hope he typed that out. Okay, he totally typed that comment out in his Dodge in front of Planned Parenthood. Whoa, why did you have to go there? Why did you have to say that the guy was typing out the comment in his Dodge Charger, ready to pay his ex-girlfriend to get the baby aborted? Oh! I'm BDF, nigga, baby daddy free. That mean I ain't got a nigga, baby coming out of me. So I'm ABORTING. On my way to the clinic. I forgot the plan B. Let's go. I got murder on my mind. That's too early to play abortion songs on a Sunday, no? Smooth as fast, such as Fast and Furious line. Whatever. Alex, have you heard of PBP tuning? Got some friends that are tuned by him, and the cars move out with the normal bolt-ons. Never heard of them. Why did it instantly make sense when you read it as a Cajun? Oh, Bobby Boucher ash. Was there even a question in all of that? That was JJ Boss question. Here in the South, we do.
Now, here in the South, we do it a bit different than you Yankees. Here, buy-in is showing me your dick. And depending on the size, girth, and veins determines the run order. Winner gets my ass.
Yeah. Okay. Love it. Finally came in through the live to Germany. Nice. Germany. How y'all doing over there? I'm not even this audience is not going to be trifled with, so I'm going to leave it alone. Damn, I own 170 likes. Look, man, you got to understand. This is one of those things that there are 200 solid motherfuckers out there. and the channel keeps going because of that, and that's okay. I mean, like Cletus probably has a solid 150,000 people. He has millions of subscribers, but I'm saying solid people that watch, are invested, know everything, are in groups. They buy every shirt. Like, look, so that's all you really need. This channel literally lives off of like 200 to 250 solid motherfuckers. Quick is 60 to 130, fastest traps. Let's go. I thought those were engine leader sizes. PBB is a SA tuner. San Antonio, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. Anything in Texas I think is suspect because, again, I've always said that you can't get into the Coyote specific platform and expect the car to roll out. So it's going to be one of those things that I'm always going to be suspicious of somebody that comes into the game all of a sudden, knowing what I know and knowing the amount of software it takes to tune, vet, find shit that's not indexed, the amount of tunes per se. How many? Okay, guys, let's ask you a question. How many tunes do you think it took Junior and I to get the GT500 running how it's running? How many tunes do you think it takes? So when somebody says, oh, let me try this Coyote thing, let me try this twin turbo Voodoo thing, and within 3 tunes, they got to make an 1100? Oh, and you've never touched the platform before. Oh, okay. Gotcha. How many tunes, plus minus, you think it took for me to get this thing dialed up? Someone says his call. GT500 or C7Z06, with one would you like to live with as a daily? What year GT500? 2020? If it's a 2020, by far 2020. I'm not a big fan of the C7s at all. You're saying daily. Hey, Mike H, coming in from a 39.5-hour work week. God, I hate to see what Cleater's cult looks like. That's okay. Look, obviously it's successful. Obviously the dude makes good money. He's putting on good races. You can't fault him for what he's doing. It's just that his fans are ultra gay. Like, his fans are by far the gayest. Oh, look at this. John, where's this? Where is this posted? Where is this posted? Look at that. I'm going to look it up. Here we go. Oh, John posted something I thought was pretty funny. Instagram. Let's see if it's up there. Here we go. Oh, yes, sir. Qué bueno. Here we go. Bada bing. Bada boom. ProTorque on their Instagram. John Lund 2, Lund Racing with a 665 at 216 pass down at the Reunion. ProTorque.com. Gotta love it. And this, look at the photos. Looking good. Shout out to ProTorque. They did a good job with this thing. 665, 216, first time. Great data. Junior posted that on an internal chat, and I was like, oh, that's good. It's good to see. It's really nice to see, honestly. Howdy, Mike H, says Joe Swish. Mike H, get that 39.75 hours in the week. Give you a thumbs up every time. Thank you, Paul Garcia. Appreciate it. Okay, so over under, how many tunes did it take for the dialing in of the GT500? Again, I've been tuning for 10 years. Junior probably for fucking 15 or something. We know ins and outs of nuances of the Gen 1. It's a vetted platform. All this shit. We know it. Blah, 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 blah. Someone said 35, 27, 15, 12, 45, 20. Drake says 1,000. 10, 3.14, 15, 15, 15, 22, right on the money. 22 to 23 tunes. I flashed the car that many times. The first tune worked, but the constant revising, that took a while. And Friday night, I just said, let me try this one thing. And in the video, I said that I tune intuitively, meaning I go, I'm feeling this, and based on my experience, I want to feel this. I'm not looking at the data. I'm like, nah. And I got that from Donnie's car. Donnie, the actual Donnie, the automatic Mustang. He had changed throttles around a little bit, And I had experienced in that car what I was experiencing in this car, where I would give it gas, woo, and then an unexpected forward surge would happen at same throttle position. And then it would immediately decel at same throttle position. So, woo, I'm like, So I tried some stuff on Donnie's car and it worked. And I was like, wow, interesting. Okay, so that ended up working out. And I'm very happy that it worked out. And then I had an idle issue that I had to take care of. Again, intuitive, lowered some stuff, confirmed it with Junior. And Junior's like, yeah, he desensitized this area. So we got together, and I think if everything works out and I can replicate this, it'll be a good thing. Not for offering it for tuning or anything. And it is not 24 Mustang development. A lot of people go, is this 24 Mustang development? No. How can a Copperhead ECU on a Gen 1 give you Gen 4 development? Can't. ProTorque, not to be confused with TorqueStorm. Oh, it did not go through. Wait. It's stuck. There you go. The soundboard got stuck. Ka-chow. So whoever gets that tune will be version 22. Yes, the tune will probably be called like V22. Right? It'll say 1314 GTM Twin Magnuson Pmas FIC 1000 V22 R1. Oh, the base file. Base file. Shit. It's wild. Not that hard to hit the like button. Nardi says 22. It'll take me half of that once I see those base files. Your boy Kenny. Alex, I know the answer. 22 to 28. I like after the fact everything. Oh, everyone knows the answer. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm not gonna lie. You know, you start second guessing yourself, and just like in anything, let's say you're an expert welder, expert electrician, expert anything at anything. If you're doing something based on your know-how, and the results are not what you're expecting, do you question your know-how? Yeah, of course. So what I've done, believe it or not, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I just walked away from stuff. Let me walk away, and then you know when the answer comes like in the shower, when you're like right about to jerk off. You know, you're like, I guess I'm gonna soap up a dick. Oh wait, you know what? If I do this, and then you jerk off, and then you try stuff. +1 for winner gets my ass. Sure, I don't. Rich Prince, don't do that. Do not make a winner gets my ass shirt, because who the hell would wear it? Like, who the hell would wear it? And that Flace Plate Trans is no joke. Hence why I don't drive my Fox much. EG says, checking in late. Hope everything is okay. Everything's going well. Alex, yeah, everything's going well. Got a message here that I gotta take care of it in a little bit. That's why I apologize if I look over to the phone a lot, because for whatever reason, people hit me up specifically when the show is on. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, please, I'm trying to do a show. Like, that's the, like, 9:30 to 11 Sundays when everyone's messaging me, and like every day 8 o'clock, 8 to 9:30. Do that shirt with Kyle Loftus on the front. Post nut clarity. Goodfellas channel says post nut clarity. Take a break, come back with a fresh perspective. Kyle would definitely wear that shirt. Walking away from something, I think, is a very smart thing to do if you're at a roadblock, like writer's block. You got to get back to like regular life to be able to like have a reset. And there's a weird thing where you have a hyper focus on something. Have you ever been under a car and put a fake time crunch on yourself? I got 3 garages. I put the car up in the air. I start working on it, and I'm like, shit, I got to hurry up. Why? Like one time I said, why am I hurrying up? It could take me a week for this. I don't care. So that's how the 6R80 going in and out of Donnie was something I didn't mind doing. What would I do? Unbolt the 6R80, put it on a cart, take the converter out, dump the fluid, clean the garage, leave. Next day, take the transmission out from under the car, put it in the truck, drop it off at Jake's. When it's done, next day, take it out from the truck, put it in the garage, walk away. Then, okay, my goal is to put it on the cart today, because that is a task. Under the car, that is a task. Let's get it on the cart. Okay, how do I feel? I feel good. Let's get it bolted up. Get it bolted up on the dowels, get 2 bolts started, walk away. Come back the next day, finish bolting it up, bolt up the converter, put all the plates. Okay, walk away. Next day, drive shaft, exhaust, cross member, lines, shifter. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I learned not to just hammer shit out. I was like, let me just take my time. So that breakthrough came at 11 at night. The next day, the idle breakthrough came at 9:30 at night. And then yesterday is when I said, let's go drive it and see how it drives. And I caught it on video. So it's one of those things where you've learned with experience not to rush anything. I'd give that shirt to a girl at a local car meet. It took hundreds of thousands of tunes and then 23 on top of that. F1320 winner gets my ass. Cal will buy that. For sure. That's me all the time. ADHD and OCD. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Just got my Fox out, says 0Fox50. Need to show her my love. Got too addicted to the Gen 2. Ryan Dole says Alex is river dancing on those pedals for 60 to 130. My wife wants winner gets my ass shirts. I forgot about the river dancing on the package. Oh. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that river dancing situation. So what are we going to look out for next week sometime? It'll be interesting to see if the Grey Goose is not hurt. Like, we want to know why there's oil in the catch can. So we'll look out to see if there's like a aerated line that it pushed out the wrong side or there's an issue. So I'm sure senior, because now we're not racing for 6 months or so. Look, let's be honest. The reunion was like at the cusp of something that you want to race in Florida just because of the sheer heat that happens down here, and track temps get up to 120, 130 in, March. So there won't be much racing happening. So it's just hammer away, look at the car, take the trans down, send the converter to ProTorque, see if they see anything, pro, con, open it up, do all that stuff. And then, I don't know what the Lund Racing has in store for the fall, but there's FL2K, there's Mod Nats if they want to go to that, and there's World Cup if they want to go to that. But I don't think they should compete in World Cup Warriors class unless they can run a sub 6.5. And live in the 1.0 range. It'll be also interesting to see where the Blue Goose ends up, to see what kind of progress we do on the Blue Goose, because if we get the Blue Goose back and that bitch is painted pretty, the cage looks wonderful, and they get some parts on order, I don't think you'll see the Blue Goose I don't think you'll see it for Texas 2K next year, because that'll be like the 2J versus Extreme 28 class, or the World versus 2JZ versus the World class, because that car is at that level. It's at the Brett LaSala, Billy Badass level. By the way, Brett LaSala is racing in Billy Badass leagues, running 3.9s, 3.8s in the 8th, I think he went 3.8 or low 3.9. So get ready for the rules. Get ready for Coyote to start, getting rules put on it, and then that'll prove everything in anything, because it is a 302 or whatever you want to call it. Coyote, dual overhead cam, and it's up against Hemi billet shit. And you're like, this thing is fucking with Hemi billet shit, and it is a cast aluminum Coyote. It's going to be interesting to see if that car kind of like fucks up all the rules for a lot of people, not in a negative way, in a positive way, because a car like that can be an absolute game changer, because everyone has lived with the notion that you need a billet big block to run a number in most of these classes, and you got to take it all apart, check the valves, check everything every pass. And this Coyote is going down, running 390s, maybe high 3.8s, I don't know, turns around, drives it back to the pits, parks it, checks plugs, checks a couple things, and it's good, let's go out again. It is a very interesting thing to see what's going to happen. That's why I think the Coyote Swap GT500 project was not a negative. A lot of people like, why not stick the Trinity back on it? I don't know, because it is heavier, it makes less power. Yes, it makes more torque, but it is a dinosaur that is extinct. And if you want to keep fucking with an engine that is not being made anymore, you're just going to set yourself up for problems when it comes time to, do some kind of like maintenance on it. And I think a Coyote can make more power, easier. You see how good it drives. The Trinity, a cammed Trinity would never drive that good. Like, never. Ask Bryson Witt, because it's a locked cam situation. Coyotes are smoother, they make more power, they're smaller, they're more compact. So that's why the Coyote Swap GT500 was an absolute No brainer. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Talked a little shit today with the peasants. We talked about as to why Ford is installing or filing for patents to put a simulated stick shift component in EVs to cure the boredom of EVs. We talked about GT500 video. We talked about me getting the opportunity to shift something Billy Badass shows, pretty badass shifts. And then we just kind of talk shit a little bit about everything else. Have a good rest of your Sunday, guys. Thank you very much for hanging in there with me. The 200 of you that are the Billy Badasses that keep the channel going. Appreciate you guys very much. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys on Tuesday for Talking Shit Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you later. Bye.